Well, good afternoon. We continue following up the developments playing out in Western Kenya. It's all to do with Edwin Sifuna's homecoming in Western region. He's set to hold a rally in Bungoma town, specifically Posta grounds today, where the Nairobi senator will be galvanizing support for his national bid in terms of politics. And this push started over the weekend. We've seen the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna hold a caravan, and that caravan toured various towns, Kiminini Market in Trans Nzoia County. We've seen the Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, amongst other leaders who are actually taking Sifuna and making him tour various regions. They've equally held roadside rallies in Kamukuywa Market in Bungoma County, and we've seen Kenyans actually go into their pockets, and they have a pay bill number where the leaders are actually asking Kenyans to give some money. Just earlier on, they were in Chwele town, and right now they're proceeding to Bungoma, specifically Posta grounds, where various leaders are already there, including Kenyans waiting for the arrival of Edwin Sifuna, who's accompanied by various leaders. Siaya Governor James Orengo, they're equally in the company of Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, Majimbo Kalasinga, you name it. A couple of leaders from Linda Mwananchi are accompanying Edwin Sifuna. Many are terming this as a symbolic gesture when it comes to his political ambitions in national politics. And this, as I mentioned, is a homecoming for the Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, who's harboring presidential ambitions. Whether he'll make it to the ballot in 2027 is a game of wait and see, but it's clear that he's setting out to galvanize Western region and ensure he has it under lock and key. What it means for the regional kingpins, National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, will see it all play out. But remember, in the run-up to the 2022 general election, there was an earthquake moment when Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi joined President William Ruto ahead of the 2022 general election. And it's credited that the votes in Bungoma County played a key role in terms of cementing William Ruto's presidency in 2022. This time round in 2027, Western Kenya region, or Mulembe Nation, is equally on the table in terms of its unity and the votes it can contribute to one's presidential ambition. Hence the need for Edwin Sifuna to perhaps show that he has this region in his pocket. So that caravan is live, as you can see. They're heading to Posta grounds in Bungoma, where they're set to hold a rally as of 2 p.m. Various leaders are already there. Let's just cross over and listen in as that convoy makes its way to Posta grounds. Well, live pictures of that convoy of Linda Mwananchi leaders who are making their way to Bungoma Posta grounds, where they're set to hold a rally. And that is where Edwin Sifuna will officially be endorsed and released by the Mulembe community to traverse the country in search of support for his presidential bid. Remember, this caravan started yesterday, and we've seen him tour various counties in Bungoma County, including Trans Nzoia. Right now they're in Bungoma, or rather they've toured Western region, including Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Kakamega, and all this will culminate in that meeting in Posta grounds, where Edwin Sifuna will officially be endorsed and released by the community to traverse the country in search of support for his presidential bid. It's called a homecoming with political connotations, which is quite symbolic in terms of his bid to unseat President William Ruto come 2027. And there are various leaders who have aligned with the Linda Mwananchi movement. And recently we've seen the Bungoma gubernatorial hopeful and Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi equally associate himself with the Linda Mwananchi Brigade. And Bungoma County is known as the political bastion of National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, who in 2022 delivered many votes in favor of President William Ruto, hence his position. But this time round in 2027, we've seen so much emphasis in Western Kenya, Mulembe Nation. And if you can remember, the aide of President William Ruto, Farouk Kibet, has been pitching camp in that region for quite some time. And it's known as one of the battlegrounds come 2027 in terms of its vote-rich nature, and equally the swing vote nature of Mulembe Nation. And this time round, Edwin Sifuna is trying to galvanize the entire Mulembe Nation in a bid to support his candidature in 2027 as he eyes the national seat, the presidency seat. And whether he'll make it to the ballot is a game of wait and see, remembering that there has been talk in terms of uniting the united opposition, whether it's Linda Mwananchi, whether it's the united alternative government, to ensure there's one candidate who will vie against President William Ruto come 2027. So this coronation of Edwin Sifuna will go a long way in terms of cementing his bid for presidency in 2027. Just yesterday, we saw him tour a couple of regions in Western Kenya. There's also growing push and pull over whether it is indeed a coronation and whether it should have been held in Kakamega County, being the headquarters and central point of Western Kenya, so that all Mulembe communities can rally behind the Linda Mwananchi team leader. And we saw a clarification that was made during an event, I think it was just last week, July 17th, a meeting convened in Kanduyi, which was set to plan and lay strategies for the high-level homecoming ceremony. And Sifuna, of course, has already toured the other 3 Western Kenya counties with his Linda Mwananchi Brigade, and the organizers deemed it fit for him to also hold similar rallies in Trans Nzoia and Bungoma counties, effectively completing his political tour of the Western Kenya region. And just earlier, we saw him at Chwele town. And I mentioned this because it has a symbolic meaning. Just recently, during the Chwele Kabuchai ward by-election, we saw an independent candidate, Eric Wekesa, win that particular by-election. If I'm not wrong, Wekesa was declared the winner after gathering a staggering 6,000 votes in the just concluded by-election, an independent candidate who was facing off against Vincent Wekesa of the Ford Kenya Party, who garnered a paltry 2,700 votes. That win has been mentioned by the leaders while they were in Chwele town, as they borrowed from what happened in Olkalau by-election. Actually, the leaders were saying the Olkalau residents borrowed from the residents of Chwele Kabuchai ward, who, despite heavy investment by the ruling class, who are currently Ford Kenya, which is currently in the Kenya Kwanza administration, the electorate decided to go the different way, voting in an independent candidate, and perhaps that's why they're drawing similarities to what happened in Ol Kalou in terms of the voting patterns